You should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're gonna get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe.
I'm tryna go down, down as a grave. Every night I get on my knees and pray that I will go down.
Yes, sir.
I will go down. Legendary moves, leader of my crew. Heavy is the head that wear the crown, that shit true. Do it like Nip Hustle, that's to fill some big shoes. And what good is excuses when the fucking wrist do? Smoking all this shit though. Run away from my pain, rosemary on my temples. Heart that's good for migraines. Solo in my benzo. Exit off the highway. Solitary thoughts like how to reinvest my side chain. I'm tryna go down, down as a grave. Every night I get on my knees and pray. I'ma go down. I will go down. I'm tryna go down, down as a legend. Every night I aim, looking for the blessing. I will go down. I will go down.
Just vibe.
So many niggas doing time. Who are you and I? To play with it, it's a blessing, so reach for the sky. Pick up Shady off the block and we'll smoke and drive. Politicking on the block and make it multiply. Keep some bitches on the team from the other side.
Ebony, what's up, baby?
Keep at least about a green, motherfucking right. 30 hours in the spot, going overtime. We pull up to the Fox and go home and done. You know this life, you got a code design. How you go from me, love
Tina Clara Marie. Beats by Bless Zone Now Music. Bless Zone Now.
It ain't no force in this world like a focus drive. You gotta focus on yourself like an only child. You make your dream realer and you make your team better. You make your game up and you make your scheme better.
Just vibe.
This time, it won't be like the last time. But this time,
Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in the door.
Put my name in the stars, my name.
Look good, don't it?
I will go down.
Just
To
vibe.
be legendary, yeah. To be legendary. Be legendary, yeah. Who don't wanna be legendary, yeah. Wanna be legendary, yeah. Wanna be legendary.
This is Leo season vibrational therapy. This is PrIcElEs knowledge. Mi amo es Rodrigo. What's up, Bratty Beretta 629? Yeah, I got rid of the beard, y'all. It's still there, kind of, but nah. Look, before we even go there, if you haven't smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe. Yeah. Let it sink in. The music should be playing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome to the church, volume 2. Exclusive 213.
Got my nephew Nate Dogg in the house. Nate Dogg, holla at him. Where you at? Riding in my car.
Yeah. And I'm listening to the radio.
I'm listening to a sad girl sang about how she got her heart broke. People reaching for stars. I just want me something natural. When you're alone, it gets mighty cold. Don't act as if you did not know. She let me play with her heart.
Yeah.
I'm working late, I said I'll soon be home. All the while the girl was home alone. Let me tell you what she's crying for. Why? Cause I'm fly. Yeah, super fly. Nate, oh, I'm fly. Yeah, you know he's super fly. But me, I'm super duper, and I'm super duper fly.
Vibe.
I be the great at this, I know you waited this, and I wanted this to be elaborate and so strenuous. Then you just slide by and whiz you want another piss age. Is that the way that you gon' be his age? I know you're feeling all hurt inside.
Watch his cat house. What's up, man?
Let me help out your pride. I'm like a counselor, a pastor, a priest, or a psychologist, a shrink on a freak. Peep, my technique, I wear mink skater boots, and I'm the rip that gets the loot, and I ain't afraid to shoot, and I love to toot. Beep, beep as I slide up the street. I'm from the LBC, and I don't know what y'all ain't heard about me, but I'm a CRIP with some PIMP too. I'm a real pimp player.
What's
from
up,
the 213 crew. Now look here, boo, if you gon' bang or hang with the dog, you best to get in.
Holla at him, Nate Dogg.
Riding in my car. And I'm listening to the radio.
Yeah, this is that Leo season vibe.
A sad girl sang about how she got her heart broke. People reaching for stars. I just want me something natural. Is that right, when you're alone, it gets mighty cold. Don't act as if you did not know. She let me play with her heart. I'm working late, I said I'll soon be home. All the while the girl was home alone. Let me tell you what she crying for.
Wow.
What she crying for? I'm fly. Yeah, super fly. Yeah. Oh, I'm fly. Yeah. Riding in my car. And I'm listening to the radio.
Just let that vibe seep in.
I'm listening to a sad girl sang about how she got her heart broke. People reaching for stars. I just want me something natural.
My favorite rapper is
When
Zero.
you're alone, it gets mighty cold. Don't act as if you did not know. She let me play with her heart. I'm working late, I said I'll soon be home. All the while the girl was home alone. Let me tell you what she crying for.
Welcome to Leo season. I'm gonna be your host. Vibe.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time ever was. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, yeah. I ain't telling no lies, I just, 5,
Yeah.
4,
3, 2,
just
1.
I'm glad to you, that money, my dreams come true, my life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. This is Leo season vibrational therapy. This is priceless knowledge of self.
Turn something to a 14. 14 to a whole day. Lord knows it's a cold game. Switched up on you hoes, man. Big body take both lanes. Backseat blowing propane. All black fire gold chains. Young rich nigga bossed up on his own, man. My new shit sound like a soul train. Took you with him over cold train. Eric B by the rope chain. RC, we for show bang. Tiny lopes and they go crazy. What you know about the dope gang? Was you born in the 80s? Did your mama smoke cocaine? Have you ever seen the whole thing? But you drove to the streets cause you grew up on show change. Fucked up when the dope bags. It remind me when these rappers drop duds and they clothes change. At
Vibe
the
is the
with
most
the low
important
fade.
part.
I was standing in front of Knicks with my sack for the whole day. Drive-bys, I was road rage. We park and hop out, learn levels to this whole thing. Old school play the OJ, trying to make a slow change. Mama still slaving for a low wage. Trying to double up. Yeah. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just I ain't telling no lies, I just 5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you that money.
All right, then.
My dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew?
Look, this is priceless knowledge of self. We are the Vibe Tribe. There are thousands of us all over the world. We're not thirsty for subscribers or hungry for attention. No. We're here to raise the vibration with this knowledge and information. We're going to talk about astrology and numerology and all types of things that help you understand yourself better, but thus raise your vibration. If it isn't for you, swipe up, bitch. Because if you come in here on some troll shit or some hating shit, if you come in here on some attention-seeking behavior, you're just going to expose yourself. And once you do that, either myself or one of my constituents is going to ban you immediately. I'm talking about exile you, expeditious.
I grew up to be small and a beast, so the more niggas talk, I'ma shine. Might have been way before it's time. Posted with my back against the wall. Life is a bitch, but she mine. The rag 6'2", yeah, it's mine. The west side too, yeah, it's mine. What you know about? Your poster on the wall at the dealership. Leaving in the bed, legs trembling. Getting banged on for your penalties. What you know about? Your response be the reason you exist. Lucky I ain't get caught up in the twist. Young nigga blue pager on my hip, so that's a champagne spill and the car accelerate and the feet gon' cry. I'll be going to the bank at least 3-4 times. Get handshakes from the branch managers. We keep doing fly shit when the cameras cut. Double up. Yeah. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies.
You need to smile right now.
I ain't telling no lies, I just 5, 4.
Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Share this motherfucker right here.
My dreams come true.
It's Leo
My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
You done fucked up and swiped into some trio shit this time.
I'll leave it behind if you let me. I'd rather got drowned just to hold you down. I'd jump off the ledge if you're with me. I'll bring you up.
I swear to God, I shaved off a little bit of that beard and I forgot I was this handsome.
Let me down. Let me down.
Oh, your baby special.
Yeah, real shit.
We're gonna jam this one and then we're gonna get into what's going on cosmically.
I got my mind on $1 million before I turn 26. But that's just what it costs for that condo at the Brick. I got this European belt, European bitch. Ever seen an African in the European whip? I got my top off in traffic playing this. Got 'em pissed. Police hot cause my operation's legit. Suck my dick. All my life they been shooting. Thank God they missed. I'm convinced that I'm here for a reason. It don't make sense how they miss. All my niggas is gone, but I still exist. I exist. So I got on my knees and I told him this. I repent one and up. It's real talk.
I forgot.
One and up. Nigga made it. I got my first 100,000 before I turned 22. And then I went to jail for some shit I did not do. Them niggas think it's rap, huh? Till bullets make them back up. No, I'm in them movies, bro, but I am not no actor. Way before these contracts. I knew I was all that.
I'm a progress Leo son also.
Hustle if you ask her where that bomb at. She don't even smoke weed. She's just high on contact. Way before I launched that, I understood the concept. Got it from my bro. Never drove a 6-4. Used to push that cut dog, but now I try that pencil. I don't got no girlfriend, 'cause baby I'm against those. We say that we just friends, but really know that it's one of those.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah.
What's cracking, cuz? Absolutely not. Now we ain't gonna go there. Shout out to Beats by ThErApY Music. Our bro sent us some more beats for the live today, so we definitely gonna feature those. But I think it's time that we get into what's going on cosmically. See, the sun is now in Leo. And hey, the sun rules Leo. And so here's the thing with that. With the sun in Leo, it shines brighter than ever. For those of us in the northern hemisphere, it's the hottest time of the year. Yeah. So, it's time to get your shine on. It's time to be bold in your approach. Yeah. See, it's time to enjoy yourself. Be proud of who you are. But be careful. Don't get engulfed in that ego. Because the pride does come before the fall. Yeah. Just let it seep in. Now this is going to be the most creative time of the year. Yeah, those creative pursuits should be emphasized right now. This is about artistic self-expression. Now you gotta be careful, because in this expression it could get extra. It is Leo season. Things could get exaggerated. There could be drama. But hey, it's all a part of the game. It's all a part of life. So enjoy it. You signed up for this. Sometimes we forget that we signed up for this. And people can be more self-centered. Yeah. People can be more self-centered. And there's just a big emphasis on enjoyment. There's a big emphasis on expression. People are gonna want attention. Show the world that you're special. You hear me? That's key. Yeah. Take this from me. This is priceless knowledge of self. This is Leo season. And the sun is sextile to Mars, trine to Neptune, and opposite to Pluto. Because since we last spoke, Mars has shifted into Gemini, and we'll talk about what that means in a second. But when I see the sun sextile to Mars and it being Leo and Gemini, I want you to have fun. Get creative. have some fucking fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a little extra. But that's all right. You got extra energy to deal with whatever comes with it. Yeah, it could get messy. It's gonna get messy. This is Leo and Gemini and their sextile for the next few days. So it's gonna be messy, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Mars likes it because it's stimulating. Now, with the Sun trine to Neptune, now this is a separating trine. So we're kind of moving away from this trine, but it's still there. It's within a 1 degree orb of the trine. And so this is a beautiful time to be creative. You know, get imaginative. Now, you do have to be careful that you don't get confused about what the purpose is. You can get so caught up in egotistical expression that you can get confused about the purpose or why you're doing it all. Because you want to enjoy yourself, but you also want to inspire other people to enjoy themselves and to be creative in their expression, and to let their imagination be free. Yeah. I was going through it for over a year, but I feel so much better. Man, I'm back to myself, and there's not much that feels better than that. Yeah. Now, don't forget that the Sun is also opposite to Pluto, and I'm talking about exactly opposite, while Pluto's retrograde. Oh, what's interesting about that is we've seen things get interesting the last couple of days, politically especially, and we'll talk more about that here in a few minutes, because I did predict this. I did tell y'all beforehand that this was gonna happen. Did I not tell y'all that Joe Biden was gonna drop out, or he was going to be declared mentally incompetent? And in this case, he dropped out because he was declared mentally incompetent. I told y'all this was going to happen, and there's more to come. It's going to get even more interesting. I said there's going to be different candidates. So far, he seems bulletproof, pun intended, but there could also be something interesting that happens with Donald Trump also. There still is the question of his legality of even being on campaign because of his felonies at this point in time. And so, that doesn't mean that anything is going to happen, but there's still something unexpected that's coming. Pluto's still going to dip back into Capricorn from September 1st to November 15th. There's going to be a full moon on election day. And actually, that full moon is going to hit... No, there's a full moon on the Democratic National Convention, excuse me. There's a full moon on the Democratic National Convention at the end of this month. That Leo full moon with the moon in Aquarius. And it's going to be hitting Kamala Harris's placements beautifully. As a matter of fact, I didn't really get into it myself, but I did notice that another astrologer that I respect named Steve Judd, he's a British guy. I don't know if Steve is British, actually. Steve might be Scottish or Irish, but Steve Judd Astrology here on YouTube. Y'all should go check out his video on Kamala Harris that he dropped this morning, because it was beautiful work. And y'all know I don't really promote other YouTubers, especially other astrologers, but he did some amazing work there. So what's interesting is things are changing. Things are changing. One thing faded, and then something else is now coming into play. You hear me? Yeah. It's going to be interesting. But with the sun opposite to Pluto, we do have to be careful here. Because things could get dramatic for the collective. This is the sun in Leo opposite to Pluto in Aquarius. But Pluto's retrograde. So the way people feel about things is going to cause some drama with this right now. Now, what's interesting is with the political situation, there's actually going to be some kickback. There's going to be some drama because of this. Because no matter how much the Republican Party here in the United States acts like that it's not a big deal, that they're waiting for whatever, they were prepared to campaign against Joe Biden. And a big part of their campaign was proving to people that Joe Biden is inept to run for president. That's how they beat him, is by saying, hey, he's not competent. He don't even know what the fuck is going on. Trump just gave a whole speech on it yesterday. But now that he's dropped out of the race, they have to recalibrate themselves. Because now if there is another debate and if things go smoothly with the legal system, then they're going to be going against somebody who can speak up. Someone who's not on the mental decline. And so they're having to recalibrate their own campaign. And so this is all very interesting. It changes the entire dynamics. Now, it doesn't mean Donald Trump is not the front runner, and if he's allowed to run, that Donald Trump won't win, because he probably will. But it does mean there is something more to come. This is a lot more interesting now. And so this creates this effect throughout the whole world. Now, there's also more. When I see the sun opposite to Pluto, what I read was that means there's a light shining on deeper issues and potential conflicts, all right? Especially conflicts within groups or parties, because that's what a political party is. It's a group of like-minded people who have a common goal or a common cause, or they're united for the common good in their eyes. But either way, this is a potent day. It's going to be filled with power struggles for people personally and for the collective. And it's interesting that we had that news come across politically, which actually changes things for the whole world. And so this is very interesting. It's very interesting. Now, when it comes to Leo season, look, man, this is where you let your creative flair really get going. This is where you let your pride kick in, but you have to be careful, because that ego gets exaggerated as well. And so there is a certain stubborn pride that kicks in with this that can be dangerous. Oh, this can be fun, but it can also be dangerous and exaggerated and extra. Now, I like that shit. I like that shit. But, you know what was funny? Me and a friend of mine got into, and shout out to my boy John Todd, it's his birthday. He's another admin in the group of STAR, the Society of Tarot and Astrology Readers that I'm a part of. But shout out to John. Happy birthday to John, because I roasted his ass all day yesterday. Or it wasn't yesterday, but all night last night, pardon me. I roasted his ass all night last night. It's his birthday today, but I roasted him so bad last night. And I was thinking about it, I was like, man, this is that fucking Leo energy coming into play. Or this is that sun sextile to Mars, and Mars being in Gemini. I was like, Mars is definitely in Gemini. For real. Just whatever your name is, JSYPYT. This is not a new channel. We do this. I won't be banned. Let me help you out. Shut up. Now y'all see the full moon brought changes. It brought some crazy energy. That full moon definitely brought some crazy energy into the mix. I mean, look. It freaking made Joe Biden drop out of the race. That full moon was actually square to Kamala Harris's sun and moon. She was born on an exact full moon. Now, right at the end of Libra season. So she has like a 28 or 29 degree Libra sun and a 28 or 29 degree Aries moon with Gemini rising. Mars kicked into Gemini. She had that full moon square to her stuff. So really, this was actually her time to come in. So yeah. We on this. Now, we're still actually in this full moon energy. All right. And the moon is now at 19 degrees of Aquarius. And look, when the moon is in an Aquarius, this is one of those really weird feelings, because you have feelings, but you're not emotional, because those feelings that you have are kind of right outside your reach. It's hard for you to put your finger on what's going on, and you think about it a lot. You really are thinking about your feelings and thinking about how you feel, but expressing it is just like, it's not stifled. It's just you don't know how. You don't understand what's going on, really. It's like you're not intimate with your own emotions. Now, collectively, this is not a very intimate energy anyway. It's very friendly. It's very friendly, but it's not really intimate. You hear me? It's not very personal. And with the moon in Aquarius, people don't want to be tied down by their own emotions or other people's emotions. They'll help you out. They want to talk to you. They want to enjoy you, but they don't really want to get tied down into those feelings. You hear me? Hold up. Before I go any further, let me go ahead and talk to Astral Blaze. What's interesting, Astral Blaze, is astrology has nothing to do with religion. Your own insecurities make you say those things like that. Astrology is not a spiritual practice or a religious sect. There are people who say they are spiritual who work with astrology, but that's not the same thing. You don't believe in astrology. You believe with astrology. You are welcome to love Jesus or Allah or Buddha or whatever helps you feel in touch with the divine. That has nothing to do with astrology. Astrology is just the algorithm of an energetic significance. You take any point in time and you pinpoint what that time is, and then what you see is each planetary object or point is in a specific place, and that creates an energy on its own, or it explains how the energy was working at that moment in time. It has nothing to do with whether you believe in Jesus or not. That's the truth. Astrology has nothing to do whether you believe in Jesus or not. You're not worshiping the stars. You're using it as a tool to understand energy and how the energy is at play. It has nothing to do with it. So yeah. Back to regular scheduled programming. Now, the moon is going to be in Aquarius for another day. And with the moon in Aquarius, like I said, you just you think too much. You're thinking so much that you're neglecting your feelings. You might even be thinking about your feelings more than you're expressing emotions. There are feelings that are there. You just can't quite put your finger on it because they're in a dimension that's right beyond your grasp or right beyond your understanding. So yeah. Be careful with that. Now, I also want y'all to understand that before I go any further on the moon, I just realized that for the next few days, at least for the next 5 days, the sun is going to be sextile to the black moon Lilith. And this is Leo sextile with Libra. And so what you see with this is if you're paying attention to your loved ones or the people that you're involved with interpersonally, then it's going to be great. But if you're not, it's going to cause some issues in your relationship. And there might even be some things where people are looking for attention outside of their relationship. All right? There's going to be people who are looking for attention outside of their relationship. There can definitely be some attention-seeking behavior. So be careful with that. Now that brings us to Mercury. And Mercury at this moment is at 27 degrees of Leo. And so with Mercury at 27 degrees of Leo, what you see with this is people's attitude becomes more prideful. Because as much as Mercury is about how you process and disseminate thoughts, it's also your attitude. And Mercury happens to be in that pre-retrograde shadow phase. What that means is Mercury is slowing down. And so it's going to spend a little bit more time in each degree. It's going to spend a little bit more time in each degree until we get to August 4th. And then on August 4th, Mercury is going to station retrograde, which means it's going to be going so slow that it's going to be perceived as if it's going backwards in relation to the other planets. And that's where the interesting thing comes into play. So Mercury is going to get into Virgo briefly, but then it's going to station retrograde. And once it stations retrograde, that's where pride kicks in. That's where people are exaggerating too much. This is where people are too self-centered in their thought process. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Because first Mercury will be retrograde in Virgo for a few days, where people are going to be picking everything apart and hypercritical about everything. They're going to be overthinking situations. So you do have to be careful with that. Sorry, I almost sneezed. I do not want to sneeze. Now, another thing with Mercury and Leo is people are going to be very intuitive. They're going to be very proud of their own thoughts, their own expressions. And people are going to want to impress people by the way that they speak or by the things that they know. And that's cool, but sometimes it's hard to learn new things when you're so caught up in trying to impress people with what you already know. And that's kind of why Mercury falls in Leo. Mercury is exalted in Aquarius because it's an open mind. And it's willing to incorporate what other people have going on. And you can learn. And there's so many things that you can do because you have so many different levels that you can bring in input intellectually. With Leo, it's kind of like what you know is what you know, and if you know a lot, that's great. But if you're foolish with your pride, then you're gonna get stuck in a stubborn mindset, and that's not helpful at all. Shout out to Australia. I have Mercury in Leo. It's not, I'm not saying it's gonna affect you, Lisa Sims. And you've already been affected because unless you have it at the very last degrees, 28, 29, which Mercury's gonna get to Virgo within 4 days. Maybe 3 days. But unless you have something in those very late degrees, you've already dealt with it. So there's not even a reason to even ask that. Now, Mercury retrograde might affect you, and it's going to affect your attitude. But you realize your attitude affects your input. You get caught up in an attitude, and you get caught up in your pride, and it's hard for you to learn anything. Now, that's natural, but it's going to be even worse in retrograde. And then, I need somebody to smile right now. With Mercury and Leo, there's a lot of elaboration. Sometimes some exaggeration. But there's also a lot of humor. There is acumen for entertainment. All of that. That's cool. But like I said, people are going to be way more caught up in the effects that their words have on other people than what they're really saying. And it's going to be hard for them to listen to anybody else because they're so caught up in their own thought process. So yeah. That is a Mercury and Leo thing, Lisa Sims, pardon me. That happens to me regularly. I don't know how many times in my life that I've had to say, and it really happens every day with my wife. But she does the same. Hers is like her Mercury's in Sagittarius, so I also be at her like, why you got a fucking attitude? And she's like, I don't got a fucking attitude. I'm just talking. But that's what it seems like. It seems like she has an attitude because all of those fire signs kind of give off that, but it's because she just is very blunt with her Mercury in Sagittarius, and she says whatever the fuck is on her mind, unapologetically. And and she can be sometimes where it seems like she's overly aggressive. So I'm just like, man, why you got an attitude? She's like, I don't got a fucking attitude. Now for me, I'll be talking and she'll be like, stop yelling. And I'm like, I'm not fucking yelling. I just have Mercury and Leo. That's the thing. Now with Mercury and Leo, you do have to be careful that you're not talking over other people. See, Aries Mercury will cut people off. Leo Mercury will be talking over people. So yeah, be mindful of that tendency, especially with us coming into the retrograde here in a week or so. That's the best thing for you. Now, I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button. I need some of y'all to hit that super sticker, that super thanks, that super chat. Let me know you fuck with me. Anything else would be uncivilized. Hit that Cash App that's tagged right there. It's pinned right there, either at the top or the bottom of the chat. Hit the like button at the very least. You hear me? Anthony said his BM has a Sag Mercury and she's good for cutting you off and speaking over you. Yeah, too, but you know what else I see with Sag Mercury? They'll say some shit and they'll be completely wrong and you be like, what? And they'll be like, you know what I mean. Like they got the big picture. It's like oh, you get the big picture. Like no, motherfucker, what you said counts. I know I do get what you mean, and that's why I laughed at you. But at the same time, like it still matters what you said. Like what you mean? I know what you mean. That's what Sag Mercuries do. They're like they'll say some shit and it'll be completely wrong, but you understand what they intended to, what they were trying to say. And so you'd be like, and they'd be like, you know what the fuck I mean. No, we don't. Say the shit right. Because look, I'm gonna say it right. Not only am I gonna say it right, I'm gonna add some extra finesse to it. It's funny, y'all hate y'all's Mercury and Leo. I love my Mercury and Leo. I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to y'all the way that I do without my Mercury being in Leo. My voice wouldn't be what my voice is without my Mercury being in Leo. I wouldn't be able to command a room the way that I can without my Mercury being in Leo. I wouldn't be able to tell stories the way that I tell stories without my Mercury being in Leo. Now, I do have Lilith and Gemini and all that, so I am very clever and I am very slick with the way that I speak, but that Mercury in Leo is everything for me. Maybe it's because mine is at 0 degrees and it's in my 10th house. My Mercury in Leo is a big part of my career. It's a big part of why y'all are here. Now, I have the other placements to go with it because my Venus is in Leo in the 10th house too, and my moon is in the 5th house. And so I do have a little something that goes along with that. You understand? Yeah, I'm a little organized. And I'm very animated. But when I'm telling a story, I like to build to a climax in broad terms. It takes me a while, and I'll get off topic, and I'll go, but I get you there. Like when I tell the story, I go all off, and I give very elaborate details. Sometimes so elaborate that a side story gets started as I'm telling of what happened. So yeah, but I am cocky. And it is very hard for me to learn new things from other people. I learn great on my own. But for me to put my ego aside and listen to you is very hard. I can't lie to you. For me to put my ego aside and really listen to what you have to say is something that's not very easy for me. Because a lot of the times I dismiss people. I'll be like, motherfucker don't know as much as me. And I dismiss them. But this isn't about me. And my Janice says Mercury and Leo be lying though. I think they be exaggerating more than they be lying. Libra and Gemini lie the most. Cancer lies the best. Leo exaggerates and elaborates and puts some extra shit on it. But yeah. It's possible. It's definitely possible. So yeah. Just fine. Exaltation of the cave oracles said Mercury and Pisces in the first house. Man, hey, but you are what's the word? You're very like you're probably make an excellent writer and you're an excellent actor. You can mimic just about anybody. And you don't just act, you become. See, that's the difference with you and everybody else. You don't just act, you become. You're amazing in that respect. But you're also very emotional in your expressions. Sometimes you get confused really easy. So those are those things. But your Mercury's in the first house and you're so clever. So fucking clever. I think lying is a thing for most signs. But as we've done lists several times of the most of the signs that lie the most. I think Geminis and Libras lie the most, which they're neck and neck. They lie for different reasons, but those two signs lie the most. And I think Cancer lies the best. I think Leo exaggerates a lot. I think Scorpio can lie. They don't trust anybody else because they be lying. They don't like to admit it, but they be lying. Yeah. Capricorns will lie too, but sometimes they don't. If they're mature, they usually don't. But Cancers lie the best, probably. And Scorpios fucking lie. They're sneaky. And that's why they don't trust other people. It's because they're sneaky. That's why they can pick up on stuff that other people be doing and shit. But they're also very suspicious of everybody because they're so fucking sneaky and fucking weird. But yeah, that's my professional opinion on that. Now, can you feel that vibe? Yeah, I like that. Now, Mercury is still square to Uranus. For at least the next 2 days, 3 days, Mercury is going to be square to Uranus. And so there's going to be some stubborn arguments. There's going to be some genius level thinking if you can express it healthily. If not, it's going to seem erratic. It's going to seem egotistical. It's going to seem fucking stubborn. It's going to seem self-centered. But there's also a certain laziness that comes with this. And so you get these ideas, but are you going to act on it? Are you going to put that idea into practice? You have to be careful to not have these theories of what could work or what you could do, but instead put these into practice. And with Mercury square to Uranus, it's just like there's these jolts of insight, all right? And ideas are going to be really coming out of there, but what are you going to do with them? Like a lot of people have ideas. This is not just an aspect that's affecting one person, it's affecting us collectively. And so as this goes on, like, are you going to do something with this, or are you just going to allow it to create chaos for you? This is very inventive as a combination, but like I said, you have to be careful because this is Taurus and Leo, so this can be stubborn. It can cause a lot more arguments than there has to be. Because one person doesn't want to move and another person feels bold like they have to move other people. And so there becomes this energy that's very dynamic in its expression that can be irritable. All right? You have to be able to channel this energy properly. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So, be careful. Yeah, be careful. Now, with Venus is at 13 degrees of Leo. And before I get into what this means, I first want you to understand that Venus is sextile to Jupiter. So there is this thing right now that if you can be confident, you can be very fortunate. You got to be willing to take a chance. You got to be confident enough to shoot your shot, specifically. And Venus and Leo want you to be confident because you are special. Now, here's the thing with Venus and Leo as far as our interpersonal relationships. Man, this is very fun. It's affectionate. It's expressive. But there is this thing where you should be going out of your way to make the people that you care about feel special. Because I know you want to feel special. So if you want to feel special, think about how they feel. You can't have a tendency right here to be very self-centered or selfish in your orientation of love. So you got to be careful with that. People want to feel love, but as you feel that, you also have to understand that that's how other people feel as well. This is not just Venus and Leo for you. And so you have to go out of the way to make other people that you're involved with feel special. And if you really feel like somebody is special, let them know. Let them fucking know. Let your relationships bring out the artiste in you. And if you're not in a relationship, let your love nature do it. You hear me? Yeah. But there could also be a tendency to overspend money right now with Venus and Leo. And I feel like I'm like that all the time, but I always have Venus and Leo. I have Venus and Leo. And so I do that all the time. Like, I don't be sweating money until I've already spent it. And then I be like, man, I ain't got no money. But see, some people want to have money because money represents security for them. But that's not what it does for me. Money represents enjoyment for me. If I have money, I can enjoy things. If I have money, I can get the stuff that I want. I can buy stuff for other people that they want. We can enjoy life. And so for me, I want money to spend money. I don't want money to have money. You feel me? Like my wife, she wants money to have money. She wants to have the money so she feels safe and so she can take care of things that she wants to take care of and so she doesn't be stressed. But not for me. I want money so I can spend money. I'm thinking, man, we can do this. Once I have money, I'm thinking, man, I can do this and 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 I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. I can get this. We can get this. I can buy you this. And that's how my train of thought works with that. It's not about security for me. But that's also, as funny as it is, why with my Saturn and Sagittarius in my second house, a lot of the times I'm stressed about money because I'm like, damn, I need to make some more money. I need to make some more money. I need to make some more money. Because for me, money also represents freedom. I don't know how many times I got told as a child that, hey, we can't do this because we can't afford it. And so not having money seemed like it was restrictive in my life when I was younger. And so, oh, we can't do that. We don't afford it. We don't have money for that. We can't do this. And so it got to a point where that became ingrained in me to where now it doesn't matter how much money that I have, I don't have enough. You hear me? And so that's kind of how you see that play out from a childish mentality into an adult mentality. Now I just work harder. I don't enjoy not having money to spend when I want to spend it. And I know a lot of people don't enjoy that, but some people don't spend money. They're very conservative. They want to save their money. They want to have the money because money represents security for them. For me, money represents enjoyment and freedom. And so I want to be able, I want to be able to make as much money as I possibly can so I can spend as much money that I can. If I want to eat ice cream every day, I want to eat ice cream every day. If I want to go out and get something from the restaurant, that's something that I want to do. Now, I do have to be more conservative in managing my money, but that is a thing for me. Because as a kid, you see other families, and they're going out to eat, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. And you say, hey, Mom, I want to go to Sonic. Hey, Mom, I want this. And she says, hey, we ain't got no money for that. We ain't got no money for that. And so you hear that, and it makes something come inside of you. It instills something inside of you to where it's like, that's insatiable. Like, man, nah, hell nah. Hell nah. And money is influential on my confidence and my self-esteem also. Like, when I have money, I feel good. When things, being broke is like, man, we can't do nothing. We can't be nothing. It's fucking... And you sit here and your confidence becomes shaken. So what you got to do is make a way. Shout out to Beats by Bless Zonaal Music. He calls this Make a Way. Let's run it back.
This is crazy.
Beats by Bless.
Perfect.
Oh, it's about helping people too. I want to be able to do things for people. I want to be able to buy my wife stuff. That's the truth. There's nothing that feels better than, hey, just the small stuff. Hey, I'm gonna make sure my wife has the money to go to Dutch Brothers whenever she wants to. It feels good to be able to let my kids go to the store and buy my kids stuff the way that my mom couldn't do for me. It feels good that when my child, my daughter that's 17, asks me for money, I can just send it without questioning it. It feels good that when somebody in my family needs help, that I'm the one that they come to because they expect me to have it and that I can help them with it. And so that is something that's attached to that, but there is pride that's involved in that for me. You see how that plays out? Now, for the people here collectively, this is just going to be a very generous time. But I want you to know, people want to feel special. They want to be applauded and adored and appreciated. So celebrate the people you love, but also understand that you need to take some for yourself too. Be proud. Yeah. Like I said, I liked my beard and all, which I still kind of have something there, but this is different, y'all can tell. But when I shaved that beard off earlier, I said, oh, there he is. It's like my confidence kicked in. I remember who the fuck I am. Like, man. So that's what's up. I'm not just high, I'm exalted. Keep that in mind, baby. Now, I do have to be careful. My wife be worried about my spending habits, so she does put money up and she does hide money and say, hey, we ain't got this, or we're broke, or woo, or you need to be conservative with this or this, because as that happens, she likes, like I said, it represents security for her. So she likes to have a little, like y'all said, a nest egg tucked away. She likes to have a little money for her to feel okay, and for her to feel like, if something happens or a crisis happens, we'll be okay. Or if we want to buy a house, we can buy a house. She thinks like a grown person. I think more or less in the lines of, hey man, like, I want to be able to spend this. I want to be able to enjoy my day. I want to be able to enjoy my life, and I work hard. So it's like, I know me and I know my talent, so I know I can make money very easily. But I also used to be a drug dealer, and as crazy as that is a drug dealer's mentality. I trusted my skills to make more money, and I do. And so I always spend money because I know I can always make money. And that's kind of from my very early days, how I came into play with that. But that's not a good thing. I need to be more conservative and I need to be more mature with my spending habits. And I actually not only have Saturn in the second house, but I also have an 8 karmic lesson number in numerology. Now, a karmic lesson number tells you the things that you need to work on. And an 8 means that you have money issues. Not that you're broke, because you actually have all the skills to pay the bills. And you know how to make money very easily. But you're way too speculative and impulsive when it comes to matters of finance. And so you see wide fluctuations because you spend so much money. And so you see that right there. And it's like, and so you have to work on your money managing habits, because with that, you have a talent for making, with the karmic lesson number 8, you have a talent for making money that's not properly being governed. And that's what I have. I have a talent for making money. Funny, I also have my vertex in Taurus in my 8th house. So I had to realize I am the bag. I don't need to depend on anybody else. I am the bag. What's up, Madden and Monk? I'm doing excellent, fam. But I realized that. But also in that, I spend a lot of money because I know how to make money so easily. So that's something I'm working on. Now, like I said, Venus is sextile to Jupiter. So what you have to do with this is, with Venus sextile to Jupiter, you have to let your confidence play out in a multitude of ways. You hear me? You have to let your confidence play out in a multitude of ways. And that could prove very lucky for you, and at the least, very profitable. You have to be confident enough to have conversations with people. Shoot your shot. This is a very sociable time. It's fun. It's stimulating. But you do have to be careful that you don't overindulge or overspend or overcompensate or get, what's the word? Overextended. You have to be careful that you don't get overextended financially too. But overall, it's a very positive energy, and you could actually make a lot of money too if you're confident. You got to be confident. You got to shoot your shot. You got to take that chance. This is Venus sextile to Jupiter, and this is fire and air, so it's not conservative like if it was water and earth. And so be confident, be bold in your approach, and you can see this become very fortunate for you. Yeah, it can be profitable, maybe even prosperous. And there's a big difference between profitability and prosperity. Just like there's a difference between making money and having money. Yeah. Venus is sextile to Jupiter for 3 more days. 2 more days, really. 2 more days is when you're going to feel this influence. 2 more days. So not long. 2 more days. Damien, I'm not a youngster either, fam. I'm an 80s baby. Just vibe. That's what's up. Hold on, y'all. Mandy Monk, you said, what can I tell you about your partner if you have 7th house Lord Moon in the 2nd house? So you have Cancer in your 7th house. And so the Lord of that is the Moon, and that's in your 2nd house, right? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying that your moon is in her second house? I'm not understanding what you mean and why you're saying about your partner. I've beat you, Sarah Woods. I've put on 50 pounds in 5 months. Like, no lie to you. No, not 50, 40. 40 pounds in 5 months. So, yeah, I have ballooned. Yeah, ever since I got that hernia, I started gaining weight. But I also eat a lot. I doubled up on dessert yesterday. I'm sure pretty close to big back mode if I'm not there already. I'm a big back. But that's all right. I got a big dick too. So, see, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Anyway, but it'll be straight. I still got this fucking hernia. I started doing push-ups again though, so I'm good with that as far as working out. But I used to be a lot more active, and it'll probably be a year or so before I can take care of it. So I just gotta live with it. The problem is, I think I gotta have a bowl of ice cream after the meal, even after dessert. I get dessert, then I have a bowl of ice cream, and I think I gotta have some cheesy tots or some French fries with every meal. Like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna get some fries too. Or I gotta stop not allowing myself to let the leftovers go to waste. I be thinking, man, I ain't trying to waste them leftovers. We're not wasting no food. So we're going to eat dinner tonight, but I'm also going to have a little bit of what we had last night, too. And so, yeah. We went there with that. Look at it. Oh, yeah, I'm straight. I'm blessed. I feel great. I look even better. Oh, we're good. We don't want to get that twisted. We're better than we've been in a long time. Now let's talk about Mars. Because the last time we spoke, Mars was in Taurus. Mars is now in Gemini. And look, with Mars in Gemini now, the energy is effervescent. It's eclectic. It's quick. It's versatile. It's clever. But it's also messy, chaotic, sloppy even. It's all over the place. There's also gonna be some arguing a lot, or just like roasting, some clever, like it's gonna be very verbal too in its expression. So people are gonna be talking shit. And a lot of times it's gonna be playful, but other times that's just gonna be annoying. Like, man, you're talking too fucking much. But hey, it is what it is. And with Mars in Gemini, there's still an emphasis on mental stimulation, just like with Jupiter in Gemini. And hey, Mars and Jupiter are gonna be in Gemini, so it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be crazy. And at the same time, it's gonna be sociable. People are gonna feel like connecting their thoughts with other people's thoughts. And with Mars in Gemini, there's also more courage to speak your mind. So people are gonna speak up on stuff that they normally would keep mum about. And that could cause some messiness, especially over these next couple of days as the sun is in that sextile with Mars. And there's a lot of mental energy, but in some cases for people that can cause anxiety or nervousness. It can be very frenetic. All right. But I'm looking with Mercury, not Mercury, with Mars in Gemini. There's quick interchanges. And things switch up really quickly. And people want to be able to do something and move on to the next thing very quickly. They want to switch it up. And so, like I said, this energy can be very jerky. Very jerky. It's like one time, it feels like it's going this way. And then the very next second, it feels like the complete dynamics have changed. And so that becomes, it's interesting, but it can become annoying too. Like, man, like frustrating. Like, man, what the fuck is going on? And multitasking is going to be big right now. And so you're going to see people have a greater ability to multitask. And so that helps. I mean, there's a lot. What's up, sci-fi fantasy girl?
Perfect.
Beats by Blazone, our music calls this moon in Aries. Sounds ominous, doesn't it? Shout out to our brother Beats by Blazone, our music. We zone. Now that brings us to Jupiter. Oh wait, I forgot. Mars is trying to Pluto and the Black Moon Lilith. They're actually forming this grand trine with Pluto, the Black Moon Lilith, and Mars, to where all the air signs are involved too. And so Mars in Gemini trine Pluto in Aquarius, but Pluto being retrograde just could mean that this energy could get weird. People are gonna want to switch it up and do something different all of a sudden. Now that might not be the best thing for your relationships, or it might be. It could lead to some very interesting sexual exchanges, but it could also lead to some people going outside of their relationship. All right? That's the truth. That right there could mean that, hey, people want to switch it up. They want to do something different. All of a sudden, somebody's acting different, or all of a sudden somebody wants to do something different. But that could cause some issues when the person that they're involved with wants to know where this comes from, or they're trying to find some type of way to direct this in an appropriate channel. Hey, sometimes you can't wait for the appropriate channel, or you can't care how it looks to other people. You just have to be willing to do something different and switch it up. There's a certain intensity right there that's going to make people switch it up. It's Mars trying to Pluto. Boom. But with this also trying to the black moon Lilith, your relationship is what gets that jolt of excitement. For those of y'all that are already interested. Now, for other people, you can see yourself all of a sudden being attracted to something that you're not normally attracted to. And now you're involved with something that you don't understand nor really even want. Yeah. Good luck with that. JuSt now, back to Jupiter. And Jupiter is at 12 degrees of Gemini. And so, hey, this is going to be very curious and very clever energy. It's going to be very sociable. There's going to be abundant need for stimulation. But there's also this thing where people get bored really fast. And when people get bored, that's when mischievousness kicks in. There's also a chance where people don't get closure on anything, and so they want to move on to the next thing without finishing what they were already working on. And so now you got a whole bunch of things left undone. You also have your hand in too many pies at once. You get too many irons in the fire, you run out of fire. Yeah. Just 5. Hold on. Sorry, I had something going on. Cause you weird, bro. We know you weird. You definitely weird. But look, man, this energy could get very messy. I'm being honest with you. It can get very messy. And, okay, messy is interesting. And Jupiter doesn't have boundaries. That's what people forget about Jupiter. They always think about the luck and the blessings, but also understand Jupiter is about expansion. And so it doesn't have boundaries. And so when you have Jupiter in Gemini, you kind of start to be like, man, this shit is getting crazy. This shit is getting messy. There's too much going on. It's chaotic. Now you could also see some people acting neurotic. It's like, bro, you're crazy. Like, what the fuck is going on in your mind? And the problem is there's too much going on. There's too much. It's too much. Oh shit, I see my honey's home. I didn't even know my wife was home, but she's home. It's my baby. Godric Gryffindor, you need to find your sword and shut the fuck up. Does Harry got it? Is it in the vault? Does it belong to the elves? That's what you need to do. Don't worry about if I got any weed. You need to find your goddamn sword, Godric Gryffindor. And spell Gryffindor right. Yeah. Does it belong to Bellatrix Lestrange? Hey, you just have to find some way to stimulate your mind so that you don't get bored and so that you don't get too mischievous or get yourself into trouble. But you also have to be careful of getting overstimulated. Don't get overstimulated. That's easy too. So you're walking a fine line. You're walking a fine line. Now, let's look at Saturn. Because Saturn is now sitting at 18 degrees of Pisces. And so, look, this is retrograde. So what this is telling you is, hey, pay attention to what's going on with you and what you feel about certain situations. Because you've been looking for clarity. Well, this is the time for you to get it. You've been wanting to know what's going on. Well, pay attention. You're about to be shown. But once you're confronted with it, you can't escape it. You can't ignore it. Because there's still going to be a problem. So once again, when that comes back over direct and you deal with this same energy again, it's nobody's fault but yours that you're still dealing with it, because we showed you what's wrong. We showed you that there's not a problem. So if there's a problem inside of you, that's something inside of you. We showed you what the problem actually is with you. And so if you have allowed that to progress or fester, then that's on you. You're not a victim. You did it to yourself. And so in this expression, you owe it to yourself to work through things, to process things, to figure out what's going on and figure out what you can do about it. Use this time in retrograde to gain perspective, because you've actually been through this before. Whatever you're feeling right now, you've felt this before, but now this allows you to figure out where it's coming from. That's Saturn retrograde. It's not harder. It's not karma coming to get you. No, karma doesn't come to get you. Karma is there already. It's always there. It's not a consequence. It's the part of the process that is unavoidable, unescapable, and unignorable. Yeah. Figure out what's going on and figure out what you can do about it. And even if it's something that's really can't be fixed, figure out how you can process that for yourself. Because sometimes you're going to figure out there's some things that can't be fixed easily. There's some shit that's not going to go away. So you have to figure out how to process that. All right? And how you can keep the faith and keep going regardless. Because you signed up for this. Sometimes shit is hard. It's a part of life. Now, Saturn is going to be retrograde until November 15th. So we're just getting started with this. So be patient with yourself. I know you know there are a lot of people going through it, and you've been compassionate with other people. Now be compassionate with yourself. Yeah. Show yourself some compassion. Don't make it harder on yourself. Huh? Yeah. So yeah. Deal with it. JS Rocker. We'll see you later. This ain't for you, bro. Now, Uranus is at 26 degrees of Taurus. And look, man. We've talked about this over and over and over again. This is not a stable time. It just isn't. We don't have a stable economy. And it has nothing to do with who's president of the United States of America. As much as we like that to attach that with something, it's because of us as people. Us as people are more powerful than ever. Our opinions are more powerful than ever because we're connected in such a way with technology that we can change the value of something immediately. The value of things fluctuates drastically. You hear me? Now, there's also the fact that there's so many unique ways to make money, which we talk about this all the time. And with these outer moving planets, it's hard to come up with a new conversation every time because it's the same message. It's the same message as last week. It's the same message as 3 years ago. With Uranus in Taurus, there's no reason for you to be broke because there's so many unique ways for you to make money. Yes, inflation is higher than ever, but it's also because there's way more ways to make money than there ever were. As more opportunities come into play, as more money is printed, then the cost of things is going to continue to rise. That's the truth. So what you got to do is apply yourself, Smokey. Apply yourself. Get money. Start your YouTube channel. Go stream all day on Twitch. Go do dances on Facebook or TikTok. Show off your recipes. Sell plates. Do your motherfucking thing. That's the truth. There's so many ways for you to make money. There ain't no excuse for you to be broke, no matter how much inflation there is out here. If you're broke, it's because you're stubborn. You're stuck in a certain way of doing things. Or you're stuck in a limited value system to where you feel like your virtue is getting in the way of you doing this thing or that thing that other people do that is actually profitable or prosperous. Now, ultimately, you're also going to see people's values change drastically during these times. And we've seen that over the last 5 years, people's values have changed drastically. What people are willing to accept and allow or do has changed tremendously. There are certain practices that would have been condemned just not too long ago that now you will be condemned if you try to condemn someone. Oh, you do OnlyFans. Yeah, but you're broke. That's the truth. Oh, you do this. Yeah, but I just took a trip. You understand? Like, there's some people out here who are living their best lives despite inflation. Despite inflation, people are living their best lives out here. People are making more money than ever. If the cost of living goes up, then the cost of your service should also rise. That's the truth. But I don't think you hear me though. Because you're stuck. You're stubborn. You have a certain way that you do things. Well, that's why you're so frustrated. That's what Uranus and Taurus is about. See, Scorpio is fixed, but it's chaotic, it's intense, it's transformative, it's ever-changing. Now you standing solid in your values. This is your sense of security. This is your comfort zone. I don't think you hear me though. You stuck for a reason, baby. Just fine. Yeah. Just vibe. Now, Neptune. Neptune is retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces. So we see things for what they are now. There's no delusion. You want to bring it back to politics? Hey, we see Joe Biden was not competent. The Democratic Party saw it. It's funny that, like I said, Neptune stationed retrograde right when that, or right around the time that we had that that debate. So people were like, oh shit. They seen that Joe Biden was up there bumbling. They seen it. Now for us as a people, perception becomes a reality. For us as a people now, we're able to start think separate from the projections. You start to see things differently. You start to move differently, but you also start to question what the fuck was wrong before. How come you couldn't see this before? And that creates confusion in itself. It's like, man, I see what's up now, but what the fuck was that shit? Yeah. And Uranus is sextile to Neptune. And so there's this influence that they have on each other while Neptune is sextile to Pluto. You hear me? Uranus is actually trine, or approaching to that trine. It's a little bit off, but coming into a trine with Pluto. But Uranus is sextile to Neptune here. So the culture and finances in particular are influences people's decision-making process. And even when you look at the politics of this, which I keep bringing up, it's just that's what's being influenced the most right now. When you look at the politics of this, what ended up happening with the Democrats is those big spenders on campaign trails and those Hollywood people that put their money into these presidential campaigns, they kind of took a step back and said, hey, like, we can't win. Like, we don't want to put our money into Joe Biden right now. We need you to step down. We need you to drop out. He doesn't have new health issues. He can say, I have COVID and I did it. That's not, he's been having health issues. He's 82 years old. He's in mental decline. That's obvious. It's been obvious for some years now. But they could not hide it anymore after that debate. That's the truth. After that debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, they could not hide that Joe was struggling to communicate mentally. And so it comes to a point to where the people that are behind those campaigns and the people that put their money into it said, hey, we can't do that. Like, we cannot just throw our money away on this. And so there was a call behind the scenes to back down. Now, for us personally, Uranus sextile to Neptune is like, this could be very creative, but I also feel like it could be, at this time, it can be very confusing. Now, the beautiful thing is Neptune is retrograde, but this means that it can be depressing because now you start to see that, oh, we have issues. And I've seen that myself. The rose-colored glasses come off about situations, and especially with my finances, because Uranus is in Taurus. I started to look and see, like, hey, man, we have this coming up. We got school clothes coming up. Besides school clothes coming up, we have this bill due. We have birthdays that start hitting simultaneously after this. My oldest son's birthday is August 14th. My next son's birthday is September 28th. Then both my wife and my daughter's birthdays kick in the wintertime. And so we have all of this stuff coming into play. We have to pay for football equipment for my son. And so it's kind of like the blinders came off for a few days where I was like, man, like, money is tripping. Now I'm good now. But there was a few days there where I really got stressed out about money and finances in our household. And so I had to recalibrate. But it's because the blinders came off. And, you know, I was able to see that this is what's really going down, and this is what I need to do for myself personally. So, yeah. There's some freaky shit. Anyway, but yeah. Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. It's just like you're seeing things for what they really are. Sorry, I had to yawn there. We're seeing things for what they really are. But you also, because of that, you're starting to question, why couldn't you see that before? Or what it was that you were kind of stuck on before? Or why were you perceiving it in a different way just not too long ago? And that adds a certain confusion or questioning into the mix right there. Now, that next brings us to Pluto. Pluto's retrograde at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So ultimately, this just means that we have seen how much things have changed. We see how crazy things are. And so it leaves us open to the possibilities. I told y'all. Did I not tell y'all that something was going to happen politically, that we were going to get something different, that the candidates that came into play were not going to be the same candidates? And they're still questioning with Donald Trump. As much as people are confident right now, as things start to progress, you have to forget he still has sentencing on those court cases. He still has litigations going on about the January 6th riot. And he just spoke on it the other day and called the election rigged last time. So he's back on the same bullshit. He's empowered again. After that shooting thing, he feels bulletproof. He feels invincible politically. And so Donald Trump is now once again saying, well, the election last time was rigged. He stopped saying that for a while because it wasn't popular. But he started saying it again. The election last time was rigged. They rigged the election. They stole the election from us, which is what incited the things that happened on January 6th. No matter if you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter, or not Biden anymore, or a Democrat, a liberal, you have to acknowledge the fact that the words that Trump used incited that insurrection at the Capitol. It doesn't mean that was a deliberate act, that's what he wanted them to do. But the rhetoric that he was using and the energy that he created off said rhetoric is what actually caused that whole conundrum. Him saying they stole the election, they just don't want me to. Him saying those things incited that, and so once again he's empowered to the point to where this is what he does. He creates chaos. And that gets voters out. And sometimes that's what you need. I'm not saying that I'm not aligned with either one politically, because I'm not. Y'all know my point. I told y'all Joe Biden did not need to run for president. And I told y'all he probably would not get to run. I said he's not going to get to do his thing. He is not mentally competent. And at some point he's going to either be declared mentally competent or he's going to have to step aside because they told him that. And so that comes into play with that. Now, we could also see Trump get put in jail, or Trump be declared not legally able to run. So there is still things that might happen. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but that definitely might happen. Things are still gonna get even crazier. Hell, you know what else could happen? Joe Biden could also be legally declared not allowed to drop out. That's what the Republicans are gonna do. They're gonna sue and say that there's no legal grounds for Joe Biden to drop out, even though they were calling him incompetent themselves. That's what they're going to do, because they have planned a campaign against him, and that's what their campaign was centered on, is on proving to the people that Joe Biden is inept and that Joe Biden is incapable of running the country mentally. And so they've built their whole campaign on Sleepy Joe and on Joe Biden not being able to do this. And so now Joe Biden has dropped out of the race, and they're going to have to recalibrate their campaign. So what they're going to do is sue and say that this is actually against democracy. And chances are they won't win, because as long as this is before the Democratic National Convention, then the delegates still have not voted in who they want to run. And so there hasn't been a specific candidate nominated yet out of the Democratic Party. So there's going to be a thing where they try to hold this up and they try to stall this process, or they try to sue and say, hey, Joe Biden it has to stay in the race. That's what they're going to sue and do. And say Joe Biden has to stay in the race, even though they themselves were saying he was incompetent. But that's what their campaign is centered around. But it's all playing out very interesting. And what caused it was this catalyst that happened when Mars was conjunct Uranus, conjunct Al Ghul. When that shot was taken at Trump, whether the Secret Service allowed that to happen, which that's what it kind of looks like to me. The more the facts come out, it looks like the Secret Service allowed this person to get into place and to take this shot at Donald Trump. That's kind of what it seems like. It's not that this was something that was staged. It was that they were allowed this to happen. Or it looks like this is something that was specifically set into place so that it could be portrayed a certain way. Because Donald Trump did not get shot. As much as they're trying to say that, he has a little bitty ass band-aid on his ear. A .223 caliber round is not small enough to where it's just gonna nick your ear a little bit. It might go straight through it because it moves very fast, but it's not gonna nick your ear a little bit and leave the rest of your ear, leave your whole ear intact. It's gonna take up, at the very least, it's taking a piece of ear with it. But you also have to think about the size of that round and where his ear is placed on his head. Now, his reaction to something hitting his ear was organic, so something did hit his ear whenever they shot at him. But it's more likely that a piece of glass from the teleprompter flew off and hit him. And that's where he got his ear nicked. But you have to look at all of the way that those things played out. So either this was a dramatic failure by Secret Service, or they set him up, or this is something that was... When we say staged, here's the interesting thing. When people say staged, they think that everything that happened was fake. But no, that person could be allowed to take a shot. That person could be actually a good shot and missed on purpose, or hit something that could have did that, so things play out a certain way. And when they say, well, somebody died in the crowd, okay. But once somebody dies, that makes the situation almost unquestionable morally. It makes people say, somebody died. They can't stage that. Somebody fucking died. 2 people are in fucking critical condition. Somebody died. There's no way they staged that, but that's a chess move in itself. Exactly, sci-fi fantasy girl. Secret Service would never allow him to jump up and expose his head and shake his fist at an active shooter, because at that point in time, there's no way of knowing if there was more than one shooter or not. And we've already went through the whole rundown of that. We did the whole breakdown. Exactly. He knew he was never at risk. And that was like a perfect scene from a movie. When he stands up and says, fight, fight, fight. Because now he's portrayed as invincible, vibrant, young, defiant. An American hero instead of a criminal, which he was being portrayed by. That's what the campaign against him was saying, that he's a criminal. You could ride through your city and you'll see a billboard that says 34 felonies and it has Donald Trump's eyes. I've seen a billboard like such. Riding down the highway, there's a billboard that says 34 felonies and it has Donald Trump's eyes on it. He was portrayed as a criminal, a swindler, this. So what they do now is make him a hero. A hero. Chess move. But either way you look at it, things are different. Things are changed. We're in unprecedented times. All of this stuff that's happening is unprecedented. Joe Biden dropping out of the race, unprecedented. Somebody taking a shot at Trump or whatever happened, unprecedented. Unprecedented. So all of these things are unprecedented. But that sets the precedent for things to get even more crazy, because you start to question what else is going to come. Just like we just did right now when we said, hey, there's more to come. There's more to come. Just like I'm telling you now, there is more to come. This is very interesting. But that's a change in itself. Yeah, they said the shooter was killed. Mustang Sally, they said the shooter was killed, but that's also dead men tell no tales. Yeah, I mean, you can look at that a lot of the ways. Dead men tell no tales. Nobody can question who sent you up there or why you're up there doing it or what happened. because you're dead now. They didn't arrest him. They had ample chances to arrest him before he got up there and took the shot. He was walking around with the rangefinder. He was reported by as a suspicious person. Pardon me. His dad called the police. There's records that his dad called the police and warned them about his son. And then nobody can ask his motives. Because if you pay attention to what's going on, they actually said he was searching both Trump and Biden's locations. And he is a registered Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's a Republican. So he probably had intentions on killing both of them, maybe. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens with that you have to look at it. And I don't care if you're a Trump supporter. You have to question all of it. If you're a Trump supporter, then you should be questioning why he was allowed to get into place and take the shot after so many reports and so many people saw him, and after Secret Service was alerted of his presence. So you have to question it if you're even a Trump supporter. You have to say, why was this allowed to take place? Because it was definitely allowed to take place. You hear me? And then you also, if you're on the other end of that, you have to question the validity of the situation because it played out too perfectly for Donald Trump. It's the best thing that ever happened to him. It's the best thing that ever happened to him. That image of Donald Trump standing up and pumping his fist defiantly with blood trickling down his face is going to be in history books for years to come. For years to come. And I'm also going to let you know that if you listen to Trump himself, he lies. If you go back and listen to his speech at the Republican National Convention, he said there was a lot of blood. I was covered in blood. No, we saw you, bro. You had a few trickles of blood and your ear was a little bloody. There was no blood on your neck. There was no blood on your shirt. You were not covered in blood. So stop lying. Stop lying. But even right now, he is yes, sci-fi fantasy girl, a victim too. Not only is he strong, but now he's a victim. Somebody tried to take his life. Somebody tried to take his life. That's what's crazy. Is you just look how he was portrayed, how it changed the narrative just like that. And so either way, it's a questionable situation, the whole thing. There's something that doesn't sit right about it. But when those type of situations happen and things change the way that they do, it makes you start to wonder what's going to happen next. Just like you said, do you think there'll be another somebody tries to kill somebody else? Do you feel like this is going to happen? What if Donald Trump does go to court and they do stand up against his charges and he is sentenced? Because I'm telling you now, there's no way that you can look at the legal system as fair and just. When I went to prison for one felony, I did a jewelry heist. I stole some jewelry. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't rob anybody. I did a jewelry heist and stole $100,000 worth of jewelry. And I did 10 years in prison. And I'm not allowed to vote. This man has 34 felonies. And he gets to run for president. So there are going to be some things that come into question as far as the legality of his campaign. That's still going to come out. there's also a minute, and when I say minute, that means small for those of y'all that don't know, a minute possibility that he still could go to jail. That's the truth. Now, what the problem is after that assassination attempt, it's going to be very hard for him to get sentenced, or for a jury of his peers to look at to be fair. There's hardly no way that you can look at that as a fair jury. So it's going to be hard for anybody to sentence him to time now, but it is possible. And there are still several states that have sued the federal government and said he is guilty of insurrection. He should not be able to run. And so those are things that have to be looked at. It's all very interesting. Now, for you personally, you have to embrace the possibilities. Embrace the possibilities. And then Chiron is at 23 degrees of Aries. You just have to be responsible for wherever you are in life. That means acknowledge where you are. But first, before you can acknowledge, you need an awareness of what's going on. That's what you do. You become aware of a situation, or where you are in life, or an emotion, or an issue. Then you acknowledge that there's an issue. After you acknowledge there's an issue, you hold yourself accountable for how there became an issue in the first place. Through holding yourself, and you're also accountable for what you do from there on. You start to realize, okay, if this gets worse, or if this goes any further, it's my fault. That means understanding that you're also accountable for what you allow. There's so many of us that lose sight of that and forget that we are accountable for what we allow. If somebody's doing you dirty, there's a point where you have to stop that shit, where you have to stop allowing it, where you have to get away from it, where you have to fight back. If a situation has festered, you have to look at it and see how you've allowed it to get there. If somebody's pushing you around, you have to realize there's a point where you have to stop allowing it. Stop allowing it. That's the thing. Like, man, I'm not going to allow it. So you have to take action then. And that might mean a conflict or a confrontation. Hey, sometimes that's a part of the process. You got to do what you got to do to move forward. So you got to find your courage. That's Chiron in Aries. Just 5. Just let it seep in. Now, the black moon Lilith is at 2 degrees of Libra. So, this is where some of y'all's relationships is going to run into some issues. With the black moon Lilith in Libra, this is where people going to be sugarcoating shit. Somebody's going to be lying for another motherfucker's benefit. Do you hear me? Oh, I'm lying to protect you. I don't want to lose you, so I lied to you. That's that type of shit. You're going to see people being really indecisive. You're going to see some two-facedness. Yeah. That's the black moon Lilith in Libra. And the south node is in Libra too. And with the south node in Libra, that's kind of what's natural to you, is to sugarcoat shit, to be codependent, to be worried about what everybody else thinks and what everybody else has going on, and to be easily influenced and over-conciliatory. Nah. See, the north node is in Aries. You need to be straight up. You need to do what's right for you, regardless of what anybody else thinks about it. You need to experience your truth as a verb. You need to be an action-oriented person unapologetically. See, a lot of people get so caught up in what everybody else has going on that they end up being fake. They forget who the fuck they are, separate of other people's opinions and separate of their relationships. No. You gotta do what's right for you. I don't think you heard me though. And today's the perfect day to do it. Because today we are in a 1 vibration numerologically. How do you get to the 1? I'll tell you. It is July 22nd, 2024. So July is the 7th month. You take that 7th, you drop it down. It's the 22nd. You do never simplify a master number. So you take that master number 22, you drop it down. Then 2024. That's an 8. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is an 8. So 7 plus 22 is 29, plus 8 is 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. That's how you get to the 1. So we're in this 1 vibration today. So this is where you have to move independently, separate of other people's influence. You have to be courageous in your expression. You got to do what's right for you. Even if you're scared, you got to keep pushing forward. Use your intuition. Believe in yourself. You don't know who's paying attention because everybody ain't going to be able to do it. Some people can't get away from being so caught up in everybody else. So they're paying attention to what you do. And they want to follow you. So lead by example. And it's funny that we have the master number 22 involved today. Because you have to take a hold of your own legacy today. What you do today has implications that go far beyond just today. What you do today helps shape your future going forward. So do something to change the narrative. Do something to empower yourself. Be confident in doing so. It's Leo season. Get creative. You got the pen and the pad. You're the narrator now. This is where your story changes. This is where you pivot. This is priceless knowledge of self. Yeah. This is priceless knowledge of self. Just fine. Just let it seep in. That's all I have to say about the transits. I'm gonna be here for 20 more minutes and then I gotta go. So let's make the most of it. I'll be back on Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back on Wednesday. How do I think the retrograde will affect the Leo sun person? I can't tell you that generalized. It depends on where their Leo sun is placed. It might not touch them at all. And it might, it's going to affect people differently depending on what house it falls in and it's how they react to things. It could do nothing. It could do nothing. fuck with their ego and their attitude. Can fuck with their confidence and make them inefficient. Just depends. It could have a person looking for external validation in other people. You got to be careful. Just vibe. Yeah, I like that. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. This one right here got something to it too. That one right there is one of the coldest vibes you done seen. Can your chart tell you why you keep attracting a certain sign, relationships and friendships? Absolutely. Look at your 11th house and your 7th house, or look where your Venus is, or where your moon is. Yeah. And sometimes it's not you attracting them, it's them attracted to you. The retrograde in Aries. Your girlfriend is an Aries sun, lost her home. You filed for divorce from an Aries sun husband, so you wondered how this could play out. This retrograde is in Leo. It's not in Aries. Who do I think will be lucky in the next 2 weeks? Gemini placements. If you have Venus in Leo, Venus, you know, these Venus placements are getting blessed right now. The sun is in Leo too, so you know the sun is gonna come into a sextile with Jupiter, and so that's gonna be awesome with that. You said, what are the money houses? The 2nd house, the 7th house, well, in a way, the 8th house, the 10th house, the 11th house, and the 6th house influences your money too. But the main 2 money houses are the 2nd and the 11th. The 2nd is what you have, what you own. The 11th is what you make. So the 11th house is gross income. The 2nd house is net worth. Anthony said he can't stop running into Capricorns. You might need some discipline in your motherfucking life. I missed a lot of questions. Hold on. Victor Lee, you said Monica Santiago or Darlene Amaro. Cherokee the Ass or Beauty the Door. Jada Stevens or Mandy Muse. I can answer those questions, actually. I'm not ashamed to answer those for you. Mandy Muse over Jada. Jada's alright, but I don't know. No, Mandy Muse has the freckles and shit. Jada Stevens. I don't know. Cherokee the Ass or Beauty Door. Neither one of them ain't my style. Monica Santiago or Darlene Amaro. Darlene. Darlene got them yams. Yeah. Astro Girl Quay. Hey. You said, what's it like to have someone's Mars on your Sun, Venus, and Mars? Sexy, but it can also be a problem. Already answered you, Victor. Lisa said, you have Chiron and Lilith and Taurus in your 11th house. Yeah, you can make some money if you weren't so stubborn. Oh, you said North Node and Lilith in your 11th house in Taurus. Yeah, you're destined to make a lot of money. You have to figure out how to do it, though. Stop relying on other people. Wait, let's listen to some beats by Bless Zone Out Music. Shit, let's see what this is.
Beats by Bless.
This is crazy.
Wait. Mandy Muse isn't, no, Mandy Muse is not the one with the red hair. That's somebody else. Mandy Muse has black hair. Mandy Muse. Yeah, Mandy Muse. But I don't watch pornography. That's an addiction. I know those because I used to have that addiction. So yeah. Them are old school. I know you old school. Them are old school people. I know Darlene is Brazilian. Anthony, you said, what does a Virgo sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in the 9th house mean? Very intelligent, but not just intelligent, also wise. You want to learn as much as you can, whether it's by listening to somebody else or from experience. But you also want to teach. You have a penchant for teaching. So that's beautiful. What's up, Tiny Dre? We in this thing together. You said you have your Mars sitting right on top of your sun in your 2nd house. Yeah, you about some money. Yeah, I like that one right there. That one's chill. Beats. Let's listen to the next one.
Beats by Bless.
By Bless.
This is crazy.
Now that one's a little bit more epic. That's serious to it. What's the word I'm looking for? That's foreboding. Sci-fi fantasy girl says she has to do a rectification. She has to do a rectification or a rectification, or you. Foreboding. It's pretty good. It's epic. How would I describe that big three? Sag rising, Virgo sun, Aquarius moon. Extremely intelligent. Ingenious. They see the big picture, but they also see the details. They don't miss the forest because of the trees, and they also don't miss on the key details of situations. And they know how to put it all together. That Aquarius moon kind of makes them have an open mind to where they can see how it all fits in together. Sounds like a great mix to me. Just vibe. Find you a Mandy Muse. Oh wait, there's my honey. She coming home. We got 10 minutes and then I'm going, y'all. I'll be back another day. I just wanted to bring y'all a little energy for Leo seeds. Oh no, we got one more. Let's go buy this for beats. Bye, Blast. What's my take on a woman dating a younger man? You done got you a youngster. That's my take on that. You done got you a youngster. Well, damn. What's up, Sure? Hey man, I gotta cut it down. I love y'all, but I can't be here for long for free. I gotta mind the business that pays me. I have readings I can do. I can build on another platform too. You know, I might have to do something creative. I need to start writing some more videos that generate revenue in a different way. I gotta do something that pays me. I love you, but time is money. Astro Girl Quay said my take on an older woman dating young. I mean, it's fine, but women mature faster than men. So don't, when you get to somebody who ain't gonna act right, that's on you. Understand what you're dealing with. I'm letting you know. Women mature faster than men. And so when you get you one that's fun but ain't shit, you did it to yourself. No, men are going to be less mature anyway, sci-fi fantasy girl. But the plain and simple fact is, maybe you're looking for a breath of fresh air. Maybe, and this doesn't apply to everybody. It might be great for you, getting you a younger man. I've been with some older women when I was real young. But that maturity level did come into play. If you're dealing with a man that's under 33 years old, you're gambling even worse than you would be with any other man. I know other dudes are trifling too. Older cats are trifling too. But me at 33 and me at 38 are completely different people. So, I mean, that's the truth. Like, maturity is a motherfucker, especially for men. But it depends on how they were raised. That's another thing. It depends on how they were raised and how they responded to the way that they were raised. yeah, that's what that was, cuz. So I'm fixing to go. We got 5 minutes. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. We've been here for 2.5 hours. I'll be back either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then maybe Thursday or Friday. Who knows? But I appreciate everybody's love and support. If you're interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, don't ever get at me in these comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And I'm also looking on to take on another apprentice. I haven't touched base with her in a couple weeks, but I need to get up with Love 12 because she's almost done with her apprenticeship. But I also need to get up with another apprentice. And I will take an initial payment or a deposit, and then we'll go from there. But I'm looking to take on another apprentice. That's 11 classes that is going to teach you just about everything you need to know. That's all we need. Because you're also going to learn on your own in between there once we have a basis that we're going to touch with. But I just like with Love 12, she's well beyond her 11 classes. So what I'm going to do with her now is touch base. We'll do a reading together every few weeks, look at where she's at in her journey and her development, and as she's building on her own practice. And Tiara, I don't know, she done got mad at me and disappeared. She'll come back, hopefully. But yeah. That's where we're at. Victor Lee is a freak. I do natal chart readings, whether it be the recorded audio version where that's like an hour and a half of me breaking down your chart and it's a recording, or whether it be a phone call where we're on the phone for 2 or 3 hours discussing your chart together, or whether it be a Zoom session where we're face to face and we're together sorting through everything in your birth chart. Whether it be solar return readings, which are more like an hour long, maybe a little bit less than an hour. And we can do that on the phone, or we can do that in person, or we can do an audio recording of that. Whether it be numerology readings, which are about 30 minutes long, but they are packed with information. Right now, and for the last few months, that's been my most sought after service. They're actually world renowned. And so that's where we're going through, and we're looking at your life path number, your life destiny, or your expression number, your soul urge, your heart's desire number, your personality number, your maturity number. Whether we're looking at your balance number, whether we look at the 4 pinnacle periods of your life, or the 4 challenges that occur at the same time frame as the 4 pinnacles, whether we're looking at the 3 cycles of your life, whether we're going to look at your karmic lesson numbers, or figure out if you have a karmic debt and what we need to do about that. When we look at your lucky number, your signature number, your birthday number, whether we look at what personal year number you're in and what personal month number you're in, all of that's going to tell you a little bit something that you need to know about your path and where you've been and where you're headed and what you need to be doing now. For any of y'all that are interested in any synastry readings, I also do synastry readings. I also offer what's called a Pluto through Aquarius transit journey reading, where I look at Pluto's journey through Aquarius and I assess all of the aspects that Pluto makes to your personal planets over the next 20 years. And I give specific dates for each one of those. So you're going to know what the realm of effect is for that aspect and how it's going to be affecting you during that time. That's priceless. This is priceless knowledge of self. I love y'all. I appreciate your presence in my life. I'll be back in just a few days. That scared the shit out of me. Something fell in the bathroom. But yeah, I love y'all, man. As a matter of fact, we'll be back probably on Wednesday or tomorrow when we get some Pisces moon vibrational therapy. The moon will be in Pisces, the sun will be in Leo. We gonna be vibing like a motherfucker. Like for real, for real. I'm talking about vibing. hope you're ready. Yeah, the moon will be in Pisces tomorrow. We're going to come with some Pisces moon vibrational therapy tomorrow. My favorite. So enjoy your day. We out.